Today in the news, we got a toasty new specification for next-gen GPUs, some release dates, and more. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Before that, let me take a second to thank today's video sponsor, Whokeys. Whokeys is where you can buy keys like this one for Windows 10 Pro. Get yourself a license with that link down in the description and click buy now and enter the code BTS25 for 25% off. And then you just submit your order, and once you're through with your payment and you receive your key, go to your computer, click on the Windows button, type in activate, and update or change your product key. It's that simple. Let's get started with Nvidia. It's been a while since we heard anything about their GPU lineup. That's thanks to alder completely taking over the news cycle. Well, this changes today because we got some news on their next generation of GPUs. Heck, this will likely also be true for the future AMD GPUs too. So this comes from two leakers over on Twitter, Kopite7Kimi and Greymon55. First came the pinned tweet last week from Kopite saying, "Rest in peace, PSUs. I don't want to leak details now. Let's wait and see." Now, if we go by what the current rumors are, it's clear that he was talking about GPU power consumption. I mean, both Nvidia and AMD are expected to greatly increase the TDP of their highest end GPUs for the next generation. AMD's RX 7000 series, for example, would allegedly be sub 500 watts, while Nvidia's 4000 series would be around 450 watts. Well, it looks like the rumors were a little bit gun shy. Apparently, the RTX 4090 will have a TGP of no less than 550 watts. That's a lot. Now, if this just came from Greymon55, I would be skeptical, but the fact that a couple of days earlier, Kopite kind of hinted at this, and that he previously broke the 400 plus watts leak, and of course with the introduction of the new PCIe Gen 5 power connector with 12 pins and up to 600 watts delivered per connector, yeah, with all that, a 550 watt GPU is not so far-fetched. Now, I'm not saying that the official retail version of the 4090 will be 550 watts, but I do believe that an engineering sample, for example, is probably reaching this point without any issues. And I say that because some current GPUs can get to 500 plus watts very easily if you have the proper BIOS, and it would still be fine. Jay's 2 cents, for example, used the EVGA unlocked BIOS for extreme overclocking and pushed the power limits insanely high, 525 plus watts running through a 3090, and it didn't instantly combust, which is good. So it's possible that this 550 plus watt figure that we see now are just unoptimized GPUs, engineering samples, and that the optimization will come later on. Who knows? Maybe we'll get 450 watt GPUs. Now that that's any better, really. Now, if it's real that we do get a 4090 with a TDP of 550 watts, well, it's gonna suck. It means that the entire lineup, not just the top of the line, will use more energy, which means buying a better power supply, more heat in the room, and of course, a higher electric bill. I'm serious. Couple that with the future of CPUs and it literally is enough to heat my room during a Canadian winter. Now, if the whole GPU market moves in that direction, which it already is, what do you guys think? Would you actively avoid a GPU because of its power consumption? Next up, still with Nvidia, it looks like we got an update on the new variants of the RTX 3000 series. A little while ago, the RTX 3070 Ti 16GB and the RTX 3080 12GB were first leaked by Hong Sing, I'm sorry if I mess up that name, 2020, over on Twitter. And now, well, we might just have the announcement and release dates. According to the same leaker, which I will not repeat the name, the RTX 3070 Ti 16GB and the RTX 3080 12GB would be announced in about a month and a half, or on December 17th. Perfect for the holiday and probably another paper launch. And it will take less than a month for those GPUs to hit the shelves with an expected release date of January 11th. In terms of the specs, it looks like the 3070 Ti 16GB will have the same core config as the regular 8GB version, and for the 3080 12GB, it might have changes to the core since the die used is different. But all we know is that, of course, it will have a wider memory bus. Unfortunately, we don't have any news on the RTX 3090 Ti, but we do have something on the RTX 2060 12GB, which is supposed to be a Frankenstein back into existence. It would apparently be available on store shelves on the 7th of December. Kind of wild. Then we have Intel in the news, with the company semi-confirming one of the Intel Arc models. All the current leaks were pointing at one high-end model at 512 execution units, then another sort of mid-range at 384 execution units, and the low-end version that would have 128 execution units. Well, on a recent commit to Mesa, that's an open source thing for OpenGL and Vulkan, a mysterious new configuration has appeared. It looks like Intel might have 4 models planned because a DG2448 is on the commit. That means a 448 execution unit version of the Alchemist GPU is likely to exist. If everything scales, it would only be 12.5% slower than the 512 execution unit version. It's kind of dumb to do the math here since we don't know how any of Intel's Alchemist GPUs perform, but I'm still going to make a wild guess here and say that it's probably going to be between the 3060 and 3060 Ti. I'm talking about the 448 EU version. Actually, you know what? You go ahead and put your guesses down below for the performance of Alchemist. I'll try to come back here when everything is released and check the answers to see if any of you guys were correct. In any case, that is pretty much it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video right here to subscribe to the channel. I think I've never talked so fast in a video. Let me know if you agree down below. As usual, stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Rolling them dices, I love it, I'm fine. Canvas for faces, I'm painting these